Good morning, everyone. Where are we? We are in the Lower East Side. We are in Manhattan. But we're not going to be here for long. We're going to walk back into Brooklyn. We are going to take this, which is Delancey, over the Williamsburg Bridge, and we're going to walk through Williamsburg, a little bit through Williamsburg, and into Greenpoint. So that is our walk. Temperature right now is 90 degrees. This guy wants to get through the gridlock. And there's going to be a lot of horn beeping in a moment if he doesn't get through. Delancey is always a really bad road. We are dealing with a heat wave and a wildfire smoke condition. The sun is out right now, but you couldn't tell. I'm gonna point the camera up in a moment to show you. There it is. You can see that haze. The smoke is really thick right now. We have these wildfires going on in Canada right now, and the jet stream is really bringing all of that stuff down here. So we have a heat wave and we have the wildfires to deal with. So it's like a double whammy. Bad heat and bad air. It is around 10 in the morning, so I decided to do this walk early so that I didn't have to be out in it when the temperature gets up to about 95. There's like a little bit of an orange haze in the air. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but the sky is a little orange. Gotta get across Essex Street before the light changes. For you young people, here's something to think about. The way this sky looks, I'm going to point the camera back up. See that hazy sun and all that air? This is what New York City used to be like on a daily basis back in the 1970s and 1980s in the summertime. When I was a kid, this is what it was like every day, with all of the exhaust coming out of the trucks, the buses. I mean, when I was a kid, if you just look at some footage from the 1970s, 1980s, you see that black soot coming out of all those vehicles. That's what it was like all the time. So, and then of course, as the years went by, there was, you know, EPA standards and regulations and everything like that, and then we had all these clean air cars. You all didn't have to deal with any of that. You would come home after being out just for a couple of hours, and you'd like get all the black gunk out of your eyes. It was that bad. Alright, so this is the Williamsburg Bridge that we're going to be crossing over. The first part of the path over the bridge, we will be sharing it with the bikers, and then eventually the bike lane splits to the left and we stay to the right, and we're good. And then, of course, we have some trains that are going to be next to us and around us. Perfect timing. I'm going onto the bridges. Nobody coming off with the bikes. So we're gonna walk into Williamsburg, and then we're gonna try to stay on the waterfront. Maybe we'll walk over by Domino Park. We'll take the streets up north until we get into Greenpoint. We'll walk around Greenpoint for a while. And I'll take you guys all the way to the northernmost point in Brooklyn. And then maybe we'll turn around and then walk down Manhattan Avenue over to McCarran Park. Maybe that's probably where we'll end it. That'll be a good place to end it if I have to go to a restroom or something like that. Walking a slight incline up onto the bridge. Not a really steep one, just a slight incline. This bridge is kind of interesting when it comes to getting onto the bridge. It's almost level with the street level as you're coming off of Delancey. If I turn the camera around, you'll see how high we've gone, and it's really not that much of an incline, but it adds up. That's the thing, it adds up. You keep doing this incline, eventually you're going over the river. So So I give you guys a heat index with the humidity, which is very high, and this terrible air quality. The heat index is at 100 degrees even. The last time we were on this bridge was last year, same time. It was in July, and we were going to the Williamsburg Italian Feast, which I think is going on this week. I don't know. I'm not going to be doing that one this year. I did it last year because people had asked about it, and I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. Got some guys working on the bridge here. Look at this. If you're afraid of heights, it's definitely not the job for you. Now that sun, even though it's in the hazy smoke, you still feel it. It is still hot. It's not as bad as yesterday, but it's, yesterday we hit 100 degrees. But like I said, at around 10 a.m., the temperature is at 90. It's gonna go up to 95 today, so we're done with the worst of the heat. But I mean, 95, 100 degrees, I mean, what's really the difference when the heat index is gonna be over 100? So, don't matter. I look at the 100-degree temp as like the cherry on top. Well, you still got the whole cake you got to deal with. So now you can tell the incline we've been walking, how high we are now. That little incline. You got at least a couple of trains that go over this bridge. You got the more well-known J and the M. I believe the Z goes over this. We'll see those trains in a moment. There's a nice view right here you could get of the train tracks, right where this is the split. See, there's the train tracks down there. All right. Alright, looks like not a lot of people on the bridge today. Or in this area, at least. I'm walking right in the center of the lane here. That is the M train. We're about to go over the East River. Got the FDR down there. I'll give you guys a nice look down the river in a second. There you go. You could see all of downtown Brooklyn. That is the downtown Brooklyn skyline over there. You can see 4th Avenue. If you look to the left, there's that clock tower building. It's like one of the last tall buildings before that space on the left side down there. The air quality conditions are supposed to stay with us for at least a couple of more days. This is nowhere as worse as it was a few years ago. If you go into my channel, you could look that up. I did 2 days in a row of that. And it looked like Mars. It was orange. It was so orange that I had to color correct the video because the camera exposed it as red. And it wasn't red, it was orange, so I didn't want to make it look fake, so I had to correct it. But that's how orange it was. It was just tripping out the camera sensor. We're about to hit the top of the bridge, the highest point of the bridge here, as far as the walking path, and we'll start going downhill now. That's another M train. We've seen two M trains and one J train. We are going downhill now. Great way to start the walk. Uphill for about 20 minutes in 90-degree heat with a whole bunch of trees, leaves, and wood particles going in my lungs. You definitely do feel it a little bit, not a lot, but you get kind of like a raspy throat. This kind of air is bad for older people with like respiratory issues, asthma. If you have asthma, I have a, believe it or not, I never told anybody this. I don't think they call it this anymore. I think they now do it by levels, but I have what you would consider acute asthma. Doesn't affect me. I mean, it's the first level. It's the one where you don't need an inhaler and all that other stuff. I don't know how they do it now. They measure it differently. Everything's changed since I was a kid. But they used to call it acute asthma. There's nothing cute about it. But it's really never affected me. I mean, I still live my life running and doing all kinds of outdoor activities. But with me, the way it affects me is when I breathe heavy, I feel it. And it could affect me at night when I'm sleeping. So sometimes I wake up. Every once in a while I'll wake up and I'll be like, just feel like I got like a sore throat or something like that. Do you guys like how I have managed to stay in the middle of the walking path for the entire walk on this bridge? I'd like to, they're very dangerous, very crazy, and I probably won't do it, but do one of my thunderstorms walks going over this bridge. There's one big Faraday cage. I'm sure if a lightning bolt struck the bridge, the top of the bridge, it'd be pretty safe. I don't know. I don't know. So many places for the electricity to go. I don't know if it would hit the path. But I would definitely not recommend it. We're going to be walking, by the way, in this neighborhood here with all these buildings. You see these buildings, these big buildings, and the Domino Park is over there? We're going to be walking in that area when we get off the bridge. We're going to be walking up to Greenpoint, which is up in that direction there. If you just go a straight line this way, that's Greenpoint up there. That's where we're going. We are officially back in Brooklyn. That was a J train, so 2 J's and 2 M's. And this right here is an M train. All right, here we go. We are on the final decline here. This is a little bit of a steep one. You feel it pulling you down. It's definitely more, I don't know what the word you would use. More exaggerated of a decline. This right here on my right side is 6th Street, South 6th. I think we want to go up South 5th, which is on the other side. When we get over here, you'll see it goes right onto the street. So, and that's it. We're finally going to be walking back in the streets again. For the rest of the walk, we'll be getting down to the waterfront at least. That's the street we want to go to right there. You see that street? That's where we're going to walk down that street. I believe that's 5th, South 5th. And then we'll walk down to, well, I have to really remember here. There's Kent, and then I think over by the park is something called River. So, but either way, we're going to be on one of those streets. All right, so we are officially in Williamsburg right now. All right, here we go. The last time we were down here, we walked up this road. We're not gonna do that this time. We're gonna take the road less traveled. Give you guys some looks that you've probably never seen before. Should I stay on this side or go? I'm not gonna go on the other side. Basically going to hug the coast a little bit. This area back in the day was just, if you're old enough to remember and you know what I'm talking about, I don't need to describe it. It was, it definitely wasn't a place you wanted to live or sightsee. This is Berry Street. And I say that's mostly because of, it was mostly because of the fact that it was very underdeveloped down here. There was nothing really down here. Got Spider-Man up there washing the windows. He's out of uniform and he's wearing a hard hat and he's got a bucket instead of a web and a line. Call me crazy, but I would much rather be doing it like that than on one of those scaffoldings, because those scaffoldings, there's been more accidents on those scaffoldings that they've had to rappel down and pull people to safety on ropes anyway. So you might as well just get on the rope from the beginning and don't have to worry about the scaffolding coming down. All right, we're getting close to the waterfront here. So we'll get some waterfront going. We're gonna go all the way to the tip of Greenpoint, so you'll see Newtown Creek from the other side. Instead of seeing it on the Queens side, we'll see it on the Brooklyn side. I want to get this shot right here. This is a nice shot right here. Ain't that nice? So this right here is Kent Street right here. Man, I'm debating on whether we should take the river. You know, let's just take the river walk. I said I was going to take you guys down the river, so let's take the river. And what we'll do is we will walk this until we can't, and then what we'll do is we'll continue on over to Greenpoint. Nice look at the bridge here. Yeah, we just walked over that bridge. Give you guys a nice look at the bridge here. This is what I mean. This is Domino Park here. This is the old Domino sugar plant, which has been converted, obviously, to spaces, living spaces, workspaces, I guess. A lot of Lego-looking buildings down here. Look at that one. We'll fly right through that. Got a little volleyball court over here. You can fly right through that building. Reminds me of Hong Kong. When I was in Hong Kong, there are a lot of buildings in Hong Kong that got like holes in them and stuff. And somebody had told me, I mean, I don't know anything about the culture that much, but they had said that I was so that the dragons could fly through the building without taking the building down. That's what somebody had told me. A lot of the buildings in Hong Kong have engravings of dragons and stuff. That noise is it's a building going up. I was kind of wondering what that was. There goes the Lower East Side right there. Get a nice view of the Empire State Building over there. Behind us is downtown Brooklyn skyline. This walk might be a little long because I'm doing a lot of stopping and slowing down so you guys can get some views, but eventually we're gonna pick up the pace and start walking. That is where all the noise is coming from. There goes some New York City ferries. We see those a lot in Bay Ridge. We have a 69th Street Pier. We have a ferry stop over there. Still got all the loading infrastructure here from back in the day that they've restored and painted and made it look nice. And then over here they have a little rocky cove area. Greenery. I use the word greenery. There's some greenery here. Ah, see? River Street. I do remember my streets down here. So there you go. Kent and River. Eventually, this will end. I forgot the name of the street it becomes. I think it's Franklin, but that's what we're gonna take. I would imagine we're probably gonna take Franklin all the way up, I guess, to the waterfront, and then we'll come down Manhattan Avenue, and we'll stop at McCarran Park. I wonder if McCarran Park still does those kite shows. I'll give you a little background info. I used to run an online kite shop back in the day. It was pretty successful. And every year the McCarran Park would have like a kite festival, and I would go there and do demos and sell stuff. I don't know if they still do it. Oh, there's a lot of dust down here. So, not to mention we got all this, wildfire stuff in the air. We got all this dust down here. This is bad. I am going to cover my face with my shirt for a moment here. There goes Kent over there, Kent Avenue. We're on River. I gotta remember the area down. It looks so different down here, to be honest with you. The last time I was down here. I remember coming down here years ago, and it was all run down and everything. That looks like that's a, I don't know what that, it looks like almost like a jail. We go down 3rd Street here, North 3rd. Can I go this way? Let's see what we can do. Let's see if this is like a way I could go. I don't know. Let's figure it out. Let's find out. If I have to turn around, I turn around. We'll walk on the other side over there. Haven't been down here in a long time, so I don't know. We're in full exploration mode. Looks like you can. I just saw a girl run. There she is. Hey guys, it's Baywatch right here. This is interesting. Let's look at this. Look at this. I didn't know this existed. Where am I going? Guys, I have no idea where I'm going right now. There better be a way out of here. About 30 years ago, this was all closed off, all rocky area. There was nothing down here. Look at this. This is amazing. This is another park over here. We do have to start going this way, though. So we're going to get onto the streets. Big high rises above us. It smells like dirty dog hair over here. Oh, look at that. Invisalign. That's what I got in my mouth right now. Those are my clear braces. Family and cosmetic dentistry. All right, we're gonna get over to this next street. I would imagine at this point, I don't know, are we still in Williamsburg or are we in Greenpoint at this point? But either way, we are doing Williamsburg and Greenpoint today. All right, you know what? We'll just get on Kent. For now, we'll get on Kent. I would like to get over to Franklin. Get into the bike lane here. North 6th Street. So I hope you guys are enjoying this walk. We are just, at this point, I am aimlessly walking around. I could just continue walking north, but I am very specific on wanting to get on this side of Greenpoint. Very nice developed area. I mean, this area looks, it's crazy how different this area looks. For any of you that have not been in Williamsburg for a long time in your life, you probably don't recognize it. I know I don't. And we're going to end up right back on Kent. You know what, guys? I'm going to submit. I will just stay on Kent. I wanted to get further. Well, let's see what happens. Let's walk up Kent. Because these streets, like with all these buildings, like I said, I haven't been in this part of Brooklyn, like this up on the coast, in like 20 years. This is really different looking. And I'm trying to stay away from Manhattan Avenue because I want to take us back down that way and give you guys a look going the other way. That's the only reason why I'm trying to stay out of this area. In case you're wondering, why am I so opposed to go in through this way? I want to stay on this side. I'll just stay on Kent Avenue. The temperature is still, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's gotten hotter. It feels actually nice. Very humid. I'll say that much. It is quite humid out. It's really not that bad out. We can walk through this park, but I don't want to walk through the park. I want to walk on the streets. North 9th Street. This is, oh, that's right. This is Bushwick Park over here. Kind of quiet down here. Let's get on this side over here. This reminds, you know what this reminds me of? This road right here and this area. It reminds me of First Avenue in Sunset Park / Bay Ridge area. Although it is way more developed than that area. So. Get the city skyline. So we are heading to the northernmost part of Brooklyn that you can go. And we've been walking about 1 hour. Sorry about that, guys. My camera started, I was trying to pan, like I was trying to pan this way, and the camera stayed straight. And I tried to move it, and of course it wouldn't move. And well, what did I have to do? I had to reset the camera. So that's why you just saw that cut. That little cut, if you noticed it. You didn't miss anything because I stopped in place. And yeah. So there you go. North 12th Street. So we are on Kent Avenue and North 12th. I wanted to be on Franklin, and guess what? I am starting to see stuff that I recognize. Because this stuff has been undeveloped for years, so this looks more familiar to me. Franklin Street should be right ahead of us. Let's see if I'm right. That's where we want to be, though. I would love to be on Franklin Street. I recognize all of these like warehouse buildings down here. This is more my more my era. Oh yeah, this is Franklin Street. I recognize it immediately as soon as I see it straight away. Yeah, this has got to be. We'll see. Let's see what the street sign says. We gotta wait so we get a street sign. I recognize going down, so it still says Kent Avenue over here. Just give me a second. Let's get to the next block here. Look at that. Let's see what the next street sign says, guys. Come on, I need to redeem myself here. Yay, it's Franklin Street. There you go. All right. Now, as we get further down, if you take North 15th down, I think you get over to Karen Park over here too, but as we get down here, we're going to be getting to the end of, and by the way, we're definitely in Greenpoint now, but we'll get to the end and we'll be at over by where the creek is, and then we'll go down Manhattan Avenue for a while. Now you start to see the names that you're accustomed to seeing in Greenpoint. Messerole Avenue, is that how you say that? Like casserole? All right, so right up here, the neighborhood will start getting more trendy again. So start to see civilization once again. Good thing I brought water today, right? Doing a long walk today. I kind of figured we were going to be walking along anyway, because to walk to the end of this and then to go down Manhattan Avenue to McCarran, it's a walk. So, I mean, by the time everything's done, we'll probably do 6 miles on this one. All right, we're back to civilization now. So now we'll start to see people, shops, homes. And what we'll do is we'll just stay on this side. Just walking the dogs. So we have made it to the elusive Franklin Street. The last time I was down here in Greenpoint with the camera, not here, I was actually here last year, but the last time, the last time we were on Greenpoint was earlier in the year, I believe, when we did, we did Greenpoint Avenue from Sunnyside. So we were here recently, but the last time I was down on Franklin Street was 2 or 3 years ago with the camera. If you remember, the last time we were down here, we did, like I said, Sunnyside, and here it is right here, Greenpoint Avenue. We walked right here. This is where we ended it, right down the block here at Transmitter Park. If you remember, that was earlier this year, I want to say. This is a new street. I could smell that it's a new street. It just smells like tar. Wow, they must have just laid this. Hey, look, guys, it's Kent Street again. I'm not going to try to explain to you how this happens. How we were on Kent Street, turned into Franklin, and now this is Kent Street right here going down. So I'm not going to explain to you the logistics of how they do the streets here in Greenpoint. Was that Kent Street or Kent Avenue though? Now I'm thinking. Is that Kent Street or Kent Avenue? Is there a difference? Either way, we got two Kents going on. We're getting close to the ends of Brooklyn here, and then we're gonna turn around. This right here is Java Street. Very nice neighborhood, you know, a lot of nice old architecture and stonework. That was almost an accident right there. I guess the guy felt he had the right of way to make the turn, and the truck went right through. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know who was at fault. You're on trail. Look, there you go, guys. I'm gonna walk on it. Oh, it is hot and it is soft. Oh, it is so hot. It's like walking on a marshmallow. It's like walking on a marshmallow that just came out of the oven. Holy crap. You could feel your feet going into that. Do you remember the other day when we walked from Kew Gardens to Forest Hills and there was that street and I crossed over thinking, I don't know if I'm allowed to I don't know if I'm allowed to cross that street. Well, after seeing how that all worked out with the tennis player girl, I decided to go right through. I felt brave. But my feet feel a little sticky again. If you remember the other day, I walked across the street that didn't have the tar down, but they had put down all that glue. And now my feet are sticky again. So right up here, you see all these buildings in front of me coming up, these tall high-rises. This is where it all ends. There's a whole like big area where there's all these new high-rises, and you'll see, and then we'll walk over to Manhattan Avenue over where the park is. There's like a little park where Manhattan Avenue ends. This right here is Eagle Street. This dog's looking for its owner. All right, so we have made it to the northernmost part of Brooklyn. And this is another area that was all run down back in the day with like old buildings and stuff, and it's obviously been built right back up. I mean, look at the skyline down here. I mean, this is a beautiful skyline. I'm not gonna lie, this is really nice. I'll give you guys a look all the way around. Look at this. They finished a lot of stuff down here. The last time I was down here with the camera, there was a lot of stuff that was not finished. It looks like they finished a lot of it. This right here, we are working on Commercial Street. That's a really big courtyard right there. A lot of construction has been completed since I was over here a couple of years ago. Out there is Long Island City. That's over by Gantry Park and stuff over there. Looks like they're sifting for gold, guys. They got a little gold rush going on over here. I don't know what they're doing. Sifting. It looks like they're sifting for something or cleaning something. Box Street. We're about to intersect into Manhattan Avenue. Hope you guys are enjoying this walk. We are now about an hour and 20 minutes of walking. We still got more walking to do. This is a long one. This is going to be one of my 6-mile walks. I am not keeping track, but we have been walking for an hour and 20 minutes. There were some times that we were walking a little slow to look at things, but for the most part, we are walking 6 miles today. This right here is Manhattan Avenue, and this is the ends over here at Manhattan. This is the northernmost part of Brooklyn. As you will see, we are separated from Queens by the creek, by the Newtown Creek. They got like a nice little waterfront area over here. Give you guys a look at some architecture. And we're going to walk back on the other side of Manhattan Avenue. We're going to walk down to McCarran Park after we finish some looks over here, okay? And I'm going to do what I always do when I'm in Greenpoint. I'm going to score me some pizza. I'm probably going to do that. There's some pretty good pizza places in this area. Maybe we get lucky and see a tugboat. There's usually some stuff docked over here, so we might see some boats docked over here. So here we are, northernmost point in Brooklyn, and right over on the other side there is Queens, Long Island City area. If you go around that way, you'll eventually, you got Gantry Park in that direction, and you got the Pepsi Cola sign on the other side of those buildings. That's Skyline over there. Hey, we got a boat right here. Look at this. See, always some boats over here. Give you guys some boats. Give you guys a nice look around. Like I said, that is Queens right there. You could swim right over to Queens. Or you could do the right thing and you could just walk over the road there. Eventually, what they want to do is open this up. I've stick the camera out a little bit. They want to make this like a continuous walk along the waterfront here. That's why I didn't go down earlier. If you notice, I was looking down that way as we were walking down Commercial. You can't walk straight through, unfortunately. All right, now I'm going to give you guys the Manhattan Avenue tour up to McCarran Park. This is going to be interesting. So this is, I could have broke this into multiple walks, and I feel that this is better. Just one nice big walk for you guys to look at. Walking an hour and 24 minutes. Let's see if we could do the rest of this walk under 20 minutes. I don't see why we wouldn't be able to. I don't know. I'm trying to think of distance here to McCarran from here. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Let's not forget, the day started at 90 degrees when we were going over the bridge. It seems like the skies have kind of cleared a little bit from this wildfire smoke. But I would tell you it is warmer than it was, so it's probably anywhere between 90 and 92 degrees, 93 degrees. That guy come flying right through the stop sign. You know what I'm going to do when I get home, and you guys could do it now or whenever? Look at my Greenpoint walks from like 2 years ago. This area, I'm pretty sure this area was still under construction over here. I remember coming down here and seeing a whole bunch of streets closed and construction equipment. It's at the very end of the walk, Manhattan Avenue walk I did. We're going to walk right past the McDonald's over there, and that's going to make me want to get McDonald's. I haven't eaten McDonald's in a long time. Years. Recently, I hit up Burger King, if you remember, when I was in Astoria. I don't know if I could do McDonald's, though. I don't know. So we are on Manhattan Avenue now. I don't know if I can give you guys a recap of what streets we walked on. We went over the bridge. We did Kent. Eventually we found Franklin. It was just more I was going in the right direction. It was very unrecognizable in that area of Kent where all those buildings, those parks were. But we did eventually run into Franklin. We took Franklin and then we went down Commercial, and now we're on Manhattan after looking at Newtown Creek and Long Island City from the Brooklyn side. And now we are going to go all the way down to McCarran Park. There is a street closure over here. Sidewalk closure. They're doing work. So I will be forced to go into the street anyway. So I'll do that now. In a bike lane. I didn't mention this, but a lot of nice brick buildings along Manhattan Avenue. A lot of nice color and architecture and everything. They're putting in a new corner here. Gotta wait for lights. This is Freeman Street. Looks like a pretty busy street for traffic. Williamsburg and Greenpoint, and also a little bit of the Lower East Side of Manhattan. I keep, it feels like so long ago. It feels like almost like a day ago that we were on Delancey Street. Forget about that part. We walked through Delancey onto the bridge. So we can't forget Manhattan. We were in Manhattan earlier. I can smell the paint. I can smell it. That was the street that had the new tar a couple of blocks up, if you remember. Because down here they are grinding it out. G train, Greenpoint Avenue G train station. That's the north side of the station. Speaking of the G train, somebody had mentioned the G train in my Jackson Heights video comment section about taking the train home. And I was like, no, the G train doesn't go anywhere near home. Well, today I will have no other option but to take the D. Well, I shouldn't say that. I could walk down to Broadway and get on the M, but I'm gonna probably grab something to eat after McCarran Park, and I'll just get on the G over at Greenpoint Avenue, which is coming up over here. And then I'll have to transfer for an R train at 9th Street. and then get the D train at 36th Street. So I'm gonna have to take 3 trains. The G train is actually not that bad during the day. It's during rush hour when it gets really nasty with delays and crowded, and it's crazy. So we'll be fine. I'll be fine going home later on. Old Poland Bakery. By the way, Greenpoint is known for its Polish community. We like to call it Little Poland. Another little that was left off of the mayor's map. He produced it. There's been like a lot of talk about the map that his office had released, and it left Little Italy, Little Poland. It left off the Greek parts of Astoria. There was like a lot of stuff that was left out. This is the McDonald's I was telling you about, which is right next to the train station. So that's why I was thinking maybe I'd jump in here and get something and then get on the train. There's a train station right there. Well, you know what? I think I could get on over. Isn't there like a Nassau Street or something over here? Can't forget this church. This is right here on Milton. Very beautiful church. You can see the sun is still covered in haze. That is the St. Anthony Church. Like I said, a lot of nice architecture along Manhattan Avenue. Well, I could see McCarran Park way down there, so this is going to be easily a 6-mile walk. Because this is going to take me like 10 minutes to get over there. So we will wrap it up at around 1 hour and 47 minutes. Hopefully we'll wrap it up in 1 hour and 47 minutes. The way this walk is going, we just keep walking. What? This is one of those walks I know you guys are going to want to watch in parts. I don't know if you want to sit and watch 1 hour and over 45 minutes of me walking, but It's turned out to be a lot longer than I anticipated. And that was because of all of that. If I would have known better, I would have just stayed on Kent earlier and just went right into Franklin. Instead, we were moseying around along the coast and going through all those new high-rise neighborhood buildings. Every neighborhood has a D2. Your neighborhood is not complete until it has a D2. Everybody's just sightseeing at the traffic light. Like, go. It says green, go. I'm walking right above the subway tracks of the G. The G train pretty much runs underneath Manhattan Avenue. I got a Walgreens over here, look at that. Got the Manhattan Avenue clock is still there right in front of the Greenpoint Visions place. It's a blue collar burger. This is the Nassau Avenue train station right here that I just walked by, right there. I think that's the north side of the station. So yeah, I do remember there was the Nassau Avenue station. That's the one I'll probably get on. Nassau Avenue is probably where I'll get some pizza. I know there's a pizza place right. We'll see if it's still there. And there's a pizza place right over by the train station. Let's look. Let's see. Let's see if my memory serves me right. Oh, I just remembered, guys. Just remembered something. Bedford Avenue. So this is where Bedford Avenue, well, depending on which way you start. depending on which way you start. For me, it would be the end point. If I start walking Bedford Avenue in Sheepshead Bay, which is the longest road in Brooklyn, this is where it ends, right here. This is Bedford Avenue. I will walk this all the way down to Sheepshead Bay. Take us through every different neighborhood you could think of in Brooklyn. Greenpoint, Williamsburg, Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy. I mean, it goes through everywhere. Little Haiti, Flatbush, Midwood. It just goes through every neighborhood. That right there is the other side of the network. They got rid of the pizza place, guys. See, listen, my memory was good. That is no longer a pizza place. It says store for rent. That was the pizza place. I was going to grab pizza. Instead, I'll grab pizza at the place we walked by just a few moments ago. So that's where the pizza place used to be. Right there, where it said store for rent. I was going to go there. This walk will knock me out for a couple of days. This was with the weather, and I've been walking every day for the last few days during the heat wave. I still got to do some more walking after I turn the camera off here, but this will definitely knock me out of service for a couple of days. You guys shouldn't notice anything because I'll probably wait to have this play on Saturday morning. It is Thursday, so probably skip Friday, and this will be ready for Saturday. We have reached the destination of McCarran Park. And I'm going to end it right on the corner here. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. This was a long one. 1 hour and 45 minutes about. There is a restroom in the park. I'll probably use it. I don't feel like I gotta go do number one, but might as well do it so I don't have to do it later. Alright guys, this is it. Gonna end it here. On the corner of Driggs and Manhattan. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. This was a long walk. We started in Manhattan. Remember Manhattan like a day ago? It felt like we were in Manhattan. And then we went through Williamsburg, and now we ended in here in Greenpoint on Manhattan Avenue. So everybody take care, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.